Once upon a time, the infamous rover Reynardo plundered the floating isles. Then his mother called him to her deathbed. "Swear to me that you won't die on the gallows," she rasped. Reluctantly, he swore. And he whiled away his days at home with music, cards, and wine. But the Emperor had changed. He'd been good once, a shy, almost humble toad. He'd built universities. Then people started whispering about mass graves in the woods, midnight rituals, victims screaming. The Imperial Ravens would round up entire villages, and no one ever returned. The Ravens had come to Ubar scouting for ancient books said to be of great power. But the librarians had hidden the books, so they'd burnt the librarians. The citizens, outraged, had driven them off. The Ravens had come back with dropships. The kid had fled with one of those books. He was brave and dumb and wanted to join the rebellion. And Reynardo had promised his mother he'd protect him. The kid was looking down, watching his city burn. "Sorry, kid," Reynardo told the kid. "Look, if we give them the book, they'll leave you alone." "My mother died for this book!" "I promised her I'd protect you." Oh, damn it. The kid had run off. With the book, of course. So Reynardo had to run after him.
Protect Peter? We have to.
The two Ravens were staring at the kid like he was their dinner, which probably was what was in their tiny brains. "Hey," Reynardo said. They cocked their heads at him. "Pick on someone as ugly as you." Wait, that didn't come out right. "For the Emperor!" The Ravens cawed and rushed at him.
When an enemy is about to attack, anything else around or? Nope.
A dropship flew overhead. He hoped they hadn't noticed him. The kid.
Hold X to grab, aim. Oh shit, wrong button.
Oh, right. The Gate of Heroes. Someone's idea of a joke, making the Skyship docks a gated community. You needed a hero's sword to open it. And the kid was on the other side of the gate. "Who let you through? Promise me you'll take the book to the rebels, or I'm gonna steal your ship." "I'm not taking that damn book anywhere, and neither are you." "Try and stop me," laughed the kid. "I bet you don't even have a hero sword." And with that, the kid hopped away. Had to hand it to the kid. He was an idiot, but he had guts. Where was Reynardo going to get a hero sword? Ore and wind essence? That sounds about right. I'll need a workshop, though. Perfect.
Sword crafting. This is a sword crafting menu. Here you can craft and upgrade powerful magic swords. Gather required materials from the chests scattered throughout Boreas. So let's select the sword's current level and special power. Let's select the sword's special power at the next level. The resource needed to upgrade to select the sword. You have enough resources, craft your first sword now.
A hero sword. QED.
Okay. I need 30 ore. Holy crap.
This is what he got for settling down and finding people to care about. The kid's mum had been a swell cook, and she'd laughed at Renado's jokes, even when he didn't know he'd made one. And the ravens had come to burn her. And she'd made him promise to protect the kid. But she never told him where the book was. Just the kid. He came up to a ledge. It was too far to jump. There'd been a bridge here before, hadn't there? And there was Peter, giggling at him. "How'd you get across?" he asked the kid. "Where'd you find a hook?" "I hopped," said the kid. Wise-ass kid. "Hey, look out behind you!" "Cute," said Renado. Oh, ravens.
More of them.
It was time to talk some sense into the kid. He took his way across the ledge and chased the kid down. Thing was, he hadn't used his hook since he'd retired. How had he done it? Maybe if he meditated at that altar there, he'd remember his old skills.
Oh boy, skills. Each time you gain a level, you also gain a skill point. Spend your skill points at the altar scattered throughout Boreas to gain new powerful abilities or upgrade existing one. There are 4 tiers of skills. The more troops you discover, the more tiers you unlock. Well, okay.
It was starting to come back to him. Something you never completely forgot, like how to freeze time when attacking. The more he fought, the more he'd probably remember.
Okay.
And there was the Farfarer. She was the fastest ship he'd ever known. She could do the Kestrel run in 12 furlongs. Oh, so the salesman had told him. And something told him the kid was about to walk into an ambush. "Stop!" he shouted. "I'm not giving you the book!" shouted the kid, and took off. "No! Peter!" And the kid ran for it. And a goggler nailed him with its ivy.
Okay. We destroyed it.
The book was unburned. Next to it were the buckles from the kid's shoes, and a kid-sized pile of ashes. Damn it. Why hadn't he lied and told the kid he'd take the book to the rebels? The kid would be alive now. Really pissed off and betrayed, but alive. Oh, damn it. Renado picked up the book. He couldn't let the Empire have it now. He was going to have to get it out of there. He'd be a wanted man. Probably have to join the rebellion just to have a place to dock. Well, he'd hated home life anyway. What was the big deal about this book anyway? Maybe he should open it and find out.
Maybe.
All that had been years ago. How many? The war was a blur, and now 3 Raven scout ships were chasing him. "Where are you running, rebel?" cawed the Raven captain over the loud hailer. Renato could see them cranking up their catapults. "Just going out for milk?" Renato yelled back. "Where can you run?" laughed the Raven horribly. Far behind him, another city was burning. The dark cloud above its island was thousands of Imperial ships. The fleet was doing a thorough job. "Take us to the rebel base! I will spare your life!" it called. The entire jury-rigged rebel fleet was only a few islands to the east. Beyond that were only the pillars of heaven, a sea of endless blood-colored tornadoes. The rebellion was out of time, unless Renato could bring a game-changer. Maybe he could. Renato had found out where he could find the pieces of the Sky Ripper, the legendary weapon that had exiled the lost gods. Surely a legendary weapon could win the final battle. On the other hand, his old friend Lapino had sent Renato a desperate message saying he had a brilliant scheme to save the rebellion. If Renato could only rescue him. Renato dived the Farfarer towards the abyss. As he felt the heat of the jet stream, the Raven ships peeled off, not stable enough to follow him down there. Now it was time to choose. Lapino or the Sky Ripper?
You can't make new old friends. The rebellion was out of time. Okay.
Every child knew about the Sky Ripper. The Transcendent Emperor had buried its pieces. What could have brought them to light? This Emperor, Isengrim III, had once been kind, but he'd gone mad. And now he was conducting secret, obscene rituals to bring back the lost gods. Had he, somehow, summoned the long-lost components of the legendary weapon out of the deep places of the earth? It was more than Renato could fathom. But if he could find a legendary weapon, he would use it. As he set foot on the island, Renato could not help but feel a tinge of guilt. He'd left Lapino behind. He hoped the Mad Rabbit had somehow escaped the Ravens. He hoped they hadn't eaten him. If they had, he hoped they hadn't eaten him alive. Why had he chosen the Sky Ripper? Renato never made plans that required constant vigilance. He was a hero. He didn't think too much. He just went with his gut and hoped it all worked out. The Sky Ripper was a long shot. He'd have to devote himself to it. No side journeys, no rescuing old friends. That was against his nature. Could he stick with it?
Probably not. Right. Dun, dun, dun. A little bit more. Oh my god. Yawning, man.
If I craft a sword now, It's gonna be really short.
Gain more ore. Gem socketing. This is gem socketing menu. Here you can equip powerful gems of argument for your offensive and defensive capability. Gauntlet has 3 sockets into which you can put gems. Select one of the sockets to see your gems. Each gem has 3 levels and its effect increases with each level. Picking up a gem you already have will automatically upgrade that gem's level. Find gems in a chest scattered throughout forests if you're lucky enough. We haven't found any. Oh, I got that one up then. We need 11 more ore.
Who needed bridges anyway?
What? Oh. Doom, 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 doom. More of these, I think so.
Anyone ever tell you have a lovely eye? No?
Yeah. Oh shit. Up. Sword, okay. Can't smash
The
through.
people who had built this castle, did they even know what monstrous weapon lay hidden within their walls? The Sky River could destroy anything it touched, or so the legend said. As the Transcendent Emperor had fought the Lost Gods, thousands had died. But Reynardo had been through wars. The only merciful war was a short one. He wasn't that good. Yet.
Mm-hmm.
Hero Wall, Hero Sword, Ice Wall, Ice Cube. Blood was up.
Just need to smash something. Okay, can I go back?
With all this ore, Renato could forge a really great sword. He was a master forger. That probably wasn't the right word.
The truth behind Skyripper is shrouded in a thick fog. The most believable tale is that the transcendent Emperor has used the Skyripper to banish Iblis. Then the TE buried the weapon and vanished. Was it a self-imposed exile to rid the world of its last divine presence? Or was it the price to pay for using such a tremendous power? Could the Skyripper and Iblis have a deeper connection than just a weapon and its victim? My rituals will summon the Iblis Stone. Perhaps I should worry that they will also cause the Skyripper to resurface. If that is the case, I should spare no resources to find it. A weapon that can banish a god is an invaluable bargaining chip should the old ones decide to double-cross me. It's in their nature to try. But gods are predictable. I can rely on that to always be one step ahead. Emperor Isengrim Free, Secret Journal. Did I come back here? Good.
Who are you looking at? All right, no one.
Oh, the bantering, man. I'm all right. We missed actually. Okie dokie. That would be something to walk on, but no. Denied.
Can't we just agree to disagree? Said Renato. No?
Haha.
Ah, a puzzle. Renato loved puzzles. Except when he couldn't figure them out. On the other hand, if there was a puzzle, it was probably meant to keep people away from something good. Huh? A lever? That was new. Most people still use doorknobs.
More or maybe we'll come around. I don't know. Why can't I be able to buy it? Why can't I buy that one? I have hook shots. Oh, do I have to go through the whole first tier? Or,
It was starting to come back to him. Something you never completely forgot, like how to freeze time when attacking. The more he fought, the more he'd probably remember.
Hey, can we get to that one?
He wished there were more pylons he could use the hook on. He really needed to construct additional pylons. There it was. Skyripper's armature. The stuff that dreams are made of. Engineers' dreams, anyway. The device was intricate. No one alive had the skill to make a thing like it. How was it part of a weapon at all? He'd have to ask a scientist. But first, he'd get the second piece. Skyripper had a heart. A core that had come to rest on the next island. Well, there was another island he could reach. Zenobia had just invaded it with her father's Raven battalions. She must be encamped there still. But fighting Zenobia now, that made no sense at all. He'd already sacrificed one friend to get this armature, was it? He didn't need to hurry to face her. She would find him. It was a no-brainer. He'd sacrificed his old friend Lapino to get the armature. And the armature was useless by itself, only a series of coils and wheels. War demanded sacrifices, and he would make more before the end. He would have to choose the greatest good, no matter how much it cost him. Zenobia. Well, he would see her sooner or later, across a battlefield or a sword's point before all this was over. He was sure of that. The power was in the core. Obviously, he had to get the core.
Of course we do. Of course we had to get the core.
Doubt sunk in before he was even out of sight of the Farfarer. Why had he chosen the Skyripper? It was the sort of path he'd always avoided. The path of responsibility, of seriousness. Had he grown up? He didn't feel grown up. He'd made this decision from his gut, like he always did. Somehow, he'd impulsively decided to stop being impulsive. Did that make any sense?
A little bit of a sense, huh? Bum 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 bum. What's over here first?
I wonder what I could make with all these sword crafting materials, thought Renato.
Can we craft something? Go. Whee! Way to go, huh?
There was something sour in the air. Like the earth had ruptured over something that had been fermenting for a very long time. Renato had heard stories of a dungeon where chests were filled with potions and weapons. Fairy tales.
Well, you better get to it then.
Come over here. There were fewer and fewer trees. There were only these huge crystalline growths. Had those been here before? He no longer heard birds except for the feverish cawing of the ravens when they attacked. He couldn't smell the small animals of the forest. The mice and rabbits. Where had they gone? And he was getting hungry too. This was an unhealthy place to be.
Okay. So let's see, we have we have a lot of choices here now. So what should we get? Stats, movement speed, okay. Requires 2 skill points though. Stats requires 2. Combat requires 3. Oh, damage. Oh no, okay, so 50%. Attack immediately when the previous attack hits to land a perfect strike, bonus damage and double combo. Long time after a successful counter until your next action, take a breather and plan your next move.
He'd missed his old skills. He welcomed them back like it was at a reunion.
Ouch. Slow there.
The 20-sided core made him feel physically sick. Once he had sneaked into a temple of the dark art, and he hadn't liked what he smelt and saw there. This felt like that. As quick as he could, he wrangled the icosahedron into the armature. The wheels began to spin, then glow. The sick feeling quickly spun away. Now he only felt sad. He had lost good friends for this war apparatus. He carried his prize back to the Farfarer. Now, he had to make his next move. There was a key Imperial outpost on the Nexus. If this really was some sort of super weapon, he could use it to wreak havoc on the enemy. And if it wasn't, well, better to know that before the final battle. But maybe he should show it to some scientists first. There was an observatory on the Nexus. Maybe he should go there before he fired it.
Seek help from scientists. The escape was complete. The support could put an end to the Emperor's madness. But had Reynard assembled it correctly? Would it work at the critical moment? The scientists on the Nexus would surely give answers. No time for fussing. Attack the outpost. The escape was complete. Yes, attack.
Reynardo had never been much of a student. At Swordfu School, he'd never read the books, just looked at the pictures. And Zenobia. But weapons he understood. His gut told him that the Skyripper would work great. He would use it to take out the Imperial outpost. And what's the worst that could happen? The thing wouldn't work, and then he'd take it to the scientists. Right? Exactly. As he set out down the path, Reynardo wondered why the parts of the Skyripper had only surfaced now, thousands of years after the Transcendent Emperor had discarded it. This Emperor, Isengrim III, had performed terrible, bloodthirsty rituals to invoke the lost gods. Perhaps that was bringing up lost artifacts. How perfect, then, that the Skyripper would reappear to be his destruction.
Elevator.
Good thing Reynardo didn't have vertigo. When Reynardo went to the china shop, for some reason the owner was always nervous.
No war in these things, or?
That was always a rush.
Oh, get up. Das war's alles. Hello. Summertime. Avoid the warlock's fire spell. It would damage everyone in the area once it explodes. Got it. I was like, why couldn't I break that one? Okay. Ignore. Huh? Whoop.
He was tired of slaughtering ravens. Maybe it was time to test out the new weapon. He turned a knob on the Sky Ripper. It made strange mechanical noises. The wheels spun faster. It began to hum. The Sky Ripper was following his every step. At least it acknowledged him as the master. But there was no trigger. How was he supposed to fire it? Fire, he said. Nothing happened. Well, maybe it just needed to warm up. After all, it hadn't been fired in thousands of years.
Maybe it does.
Renato had never met a weapon without a trigger or a handle. How did this thing work? A crafting bench. Renato wondered what he could make with it.
Okay. Upgrade. Oh, we can make a new one. Sure. Okay, let's see. Hold RT to activate the magic swords. Swords consume energy while activated. There you go. We can upgrade this one.
His trusty old sword was always a little better when he sharpened it.
Maximum level. Yeah. I don't think I've gotten a gem yet. No. It's the same thing, right?
The Sky Ripper was making a whining noise now, and its wheels were spinning so fast he could no longer see them. Renato had a thought. Please? He asked. the Sky Ripper began to glow. Boom! The outpost burst into flame. Ravens flapped out screaming, wings on fire. The base was his. The far-speaker toad came hopping out. "Reynardo!" It croaked, sounding like a toad version of Zenobia. "Don't use the Sky Ripper. It will destroy the world." "Yeah, sure it will," cracked Reynardo. "Pull the other one." "If you don't trust me, go see Calaveras. He'll tell you the same thing." Oh, she would say that. That sounded sensible. Why did she always have to sound sensible all the time? Oh, it was infuriating. Of course she would say that. He was supposed to hurry and bring the Sky Ripper to the council so the rebels could actually win the war. But what if she was right? Damn it.
Okay, we'll go and see him.
Zenobia was so frustrating. If she couldn't get you with magic, she'd get you with reason and caution and sensible arguments. Of course, Calaveras, he might not know the latest scientific theories with evidence and all, but Reynardo preferred the knowledge in the old books anyway. What they said felt true, and that's what's important. You should be careful, though. She'd probably guess he'd come here. That meant she'd probably set an ambush for him. Reynardo landed on the island, expecting Zenobia's ambush at any moment. On the other hand, there did seem to be a lot of ravens around here. Were they just lost patrols stirring up trouble? Were they looking for him? If she was going to ambush him, wouldn't she keep the road clear so he wouldn't be on his guard? Or, unless they were part of the ambush, the obvious reasons he was meant to see to take his mind off the ones he wouldn't see. God, after all these years, she still drove him crazy.
Still no gems, right? No. Okay, it's not for me. Great. Run. Smashed.
What were these poles exactly? Parking meters from the time of the Lost God?
Wind essence.
Oh, kill the fox! Caught the ravens. Nobody said they were original.
Hello, why can't I break that?
No skateboarding, the sign said.
Okay. Wrong time period.
Hey, I'm a firefox, thought Reynardo.
Oh, I can't go back.
Zenobia's ambush never materialized. Could she be sincere? Calaveras was a great scholar. Renato doubted even Zenobia could convince him to say something he didn't believe. And if he was working for the Empire, he'd never have told Renato about the Sky Ripper in the first place. Well, he would listen to the wise old toad. But that didn't mean he had to agree.
Maybe I should have gone the other way.
Renato's paws were getting numb. Calaveras really didn't want company, did he? To his alarm, Renato realized that the rebels had no way of knowing he had a powerful new weapon. He might set off on their attack on the fleet before he could bring the Sky Ripper to the fight. He had to hurry, while there were still rebels to save. Renato wondered who was leaving chests of sword-crafting supplies around. He wanted to thank him.
Mm-hmm.
See? With enough leverage, you could go anywhere.
Up we go.
Renato hoped his mother wasn't watching.
Like sometimes doesn't register when you try and hit some things. We got 2 points. Okay, let's see what should we get. Get that.
Calaveras examined the Sky Ripper eagerly. What? How often does a new relic surface? He brushed off Zenobia's warning. Oh, what do sorceresses know about physics? However, he did know a few ways to make the weapon even more precise and more powerful, and quickly went off to tinker. Soon the Sky Ripper no longer whined, but thrummed like a hummingbird taking off. It was ready for war. And so, Renato thanked Calaveras and took the legendary weapon to the final battle. But where were the other rebel ships? Had something happened? He could defeat the Imperial fleet with the Sky Ripper, but he couldn't govern. He was not cut out to be emperor, and he'd no desire to be one. There were a few rebel ships here and there, but there was no organization to the battle. Where was the Council flagship? Something had gone terribly wrong. But he had the Sky Ripper, and the Ravens had nowhere they could hide.
Do-do. We do not have one for that door, so give me your.
He'd once met a pirate captain who used hooks to get around his ship. Oh, what was his name again?
Ouch. Damn, that did some damage to me. Didn't pay attention to that one.
It wasn't his fault. They looked so breakable.
I should use the RT one.
Sharp? Check. Pointy? Check. Flexible? Check. What else do you need in a sword?
Ba-dum.
That was awesome! Where was a bard when you needed one?
Yeah, exactly. Where is our bard? Singing the songs of our battle.
The council speaker was on the deck, bleeding. Why was she even here? They found our base, she croaked. The council, all dead. We must surrender.
No surrender.
No, we can still win this, said Reynardo. I have the Sky Ripper. He would be a real hero and save the day, even when all appeared to be lost. You're a good boy, said the speaker. And then she died.
Oh.
craziest weapon he'd ever used.
Bum, ba-dum, ba-dum, bum.
You shall not pass.
No getting away from me, buddy. Oh shit.
This would be the perfect place for a tic-tac-toe board.
Nothing to hook up onto. Key guns will block your attacks. Grab and throw another grunt into him and his shield will be knocked away. Got it. Oh boy.
He fired the Sky Ripper. With a tremendous whoosh, the Emperor's flagship went up in flames. And for good measure, he played the beam around it, setting all the other nearby Imperial ships on fire too. And he watched them burn. The few remaining rebels gave a cheer. And then they stopped cheering. There was a hole in the air. A blackness, like a tear in a parchment. Wind was blowing into
Black
it,
hole!
widening it. It grew larger. Crates were falling off ship decks, upwards into the hole. And the world itself seemed bent, like the reflection on a curved mirror as it poured into the ravenous hole. We guessed that somewhere behind that ever-widening hole were gods that had long been exiled. But it didn't really matter. Time was done for here, and soon it was. Okay, that was weird. He could have sworn he just died. Instead, he was on the Farfarer, sailing away from Ubar. And it was still burning. He'd fled burning Ubar years ago, hadn't he? And now he was back there. Had all those years fighting the Empire been nothing but a vision into the future? A useful vision if it was true. He'd learned something. The core was powerful, but dangerous if used improperly.
Dang. New location unlocked. Desert Temple. Okay. So, story, what does that do then? Oh. Choices we did, okay.